guys.
What's up, Bernie?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Ernie, how are you, man?
Good, and you? I'm super excited.
Good to see you.
How are you?
Good, man. Good.
Good to see you again. Hey, Jose, how are you?
Everything.
How's it going?
So we finally finished your car up.
I'm excited. I can't wait to try it out.
Yeah, it was a handful, but it came out great.
It looks great. Well, I've been seeing all the pictures you guys have been sending me, and I'm super excited. I think what we've done here is pretty radical. It takes two equally demented people to take on a project like this.
Yeah.
Me as part of the owner that wanting to take this thing apart and play with carbon fiber, and then you guys on the other hand
To execute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a handful. It was a fun project. Definitely something that we were out of our comfort level in the beginning.
Yeah.
Once we wrapped our heads around it, everything fell into place. But I mean, you could check it out, and we'll walk you through. And
Yeah,
show you a couple different things.
we've been going over a lot of the little details about your placement and height and separation and things of this nature. I think from what Redenso tells us, we've got everything exactly where we need to have it.
Yeah.
Right? We've got all the clearances that we needed to get.
Yeah.
And the system should be perfect.
Yeah, in a case like this, since we haven't done one of these cars, we reached out to Redenso and we used them for their knowledge and asking where we should place it, and we used a lot of their information, where we place it, how we do it, and they were very helpful and very willing to give us the info that we needed.
It's unlikely that there's another 4GT out there with this whole kit, correct?
I don't know of any, and I guarantee you it won't be a Heritage.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
So let's go over the car and see what details you show me.
Sure.
And
Let's start off with the front. We'll
Okay.
go to the front here. What you can see here is you're going to be able to see your 3 laser shifters mounted up front. Those, they do transmit and receive, so that can read the laser signal, and it can also do the diffusing of jamming it.
And then the other good thing about this system is that it tells me how close I am to objects.
Yes, this car, it benefits you big time. The Redenso has a feature where these shifters become parking sensors. On a car like this,
Which is the main reason why I'm getting it, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
You're getting it because of the parking sensors, and by the way, it also does laser diffusing.
Yeah, who needs that?
So yeah, we have the 3 sensors here mounted. There's also a radar sensor.
So we've got the left one,
Yeah.
the middle one, and the one on the right.
Correct.
And
They're about 12 inches apart, roughly. Ideally, Redenso would have wanted maybe like 20 inches apart, 19 to 20 inches. But in a case like this, we don't have that option. So they said as long as we had more than 10 inches in between each unit, we were okay.
Okay, and then the other important thing that we need to consider is they have to be completely vertical or on the same horizontal plane.
They have to be horizontal 100%, and they have to be level.
Okay.
So that's key in it doing its job.
All right, and then since we're in the front of the car, let's talk about the placement of the radar detector, which is really key here.
So these 3 things, they handle all the laser side of it, but there's still obviously a lot of law enforcement that uses radar.
Correct.
So we do have a very high powered radar detector, and it doesn't have to be mounted center, but it can be mounted behind bumpers, carbon fiber, whatever it is, plastic. So it's very close to the headlight. It's probably mounted somewhere right here.
Okay.
Where that's shooting forward and giving us the radar detection, which we're getting very far radar detection from what we've seen on previous vehicles.
Okay, and then there was enough clearance to not be interfering with the carbon fiber.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the nice features also that we used there was a factory bolt that was actually on the frame, so we didn't have to drill anything out. So everything stayed factory when it came to install purposes.
Wow.
We don't need to make any aftermarket holes for this purpose.
Now tell me, since I saw this car originally when it was being put together,
Okay.
but you're the only other person that has seen it. How is it inside?
It's amazing, man. The way the details to everything, all the hardware, everything is numbered. Every part of the car has a KO68, so everybody knows that this particular part belongs to this one vehicle.
Right.
There's no mixing up of parts on these cars. They go above and beyond on details.
I noticed when I was in Multimatic that every single piece had KO68.
Every single piece.
But you probably saw it more, taken apart than I did.
And everything's handwritten. It's not like a sticker that somebody comes and plays. Whoever's building that particular piece has to write the serial number along with the KO68 for that particular piece.
Yeah,
It's impressive.
this car is hand assembled. It takes about 2 weeks to put everything together, and it's super interesting. They have 9 bays. Every employee, every technician comes in and handles his amount of work for the day. So he has to empty a cart that is full of parts. Could be anything. Could be relays. Could be bolts. It could be anything. He knows he has to finish that the entire day, whether he finishes it in 3 hours or 8 hours. He knows he has to finish that cart.
Yeah, I will tell you the disassembly process here was very unique. It's very different to other cars that we've done where the process of the removal was not just removing the front bumper. We had to remove the wheel well liners to get to the fenders, then the fenders to get to the headlights, and then from the headlights we went to the front bumper.
Right.
So we literally had the whole front clip off of this car entirely. So there was no carbon fiber from the doors forward.
Right.
So it was fully exposed. And that gave us the best visibility and the best routing for our wires and all of that.
And you said that the carbon fiber panels are really lightweight, correct?
Very lightweight. It's almost scary how the whole fender weighs. I don't even know how to put it into perspective, but
In my comparison, the fender's the weight of a pillar of a car. That's how lightweight it is.
yeah, the plastic inner pillar. So it's probably maybe 1 pound to 2 pounds. You know, it's just a big piece, but it doesn't weigh anything whatsoever.
That's incredible.
Same with the whole bumper. The whole bumper itself is carbon fiber and very, very lightweight, very well built.
Now, one of the goals that we had here is to not drill into the carbon fiber.
Sure.
And we were able to accomplish that,
Yes.
right?
Yes. 100%.
Okay.
100%.
I know on the forums there was a lot of people concerned about seeing all these parts and the pictures that you sent me.
Yeah.
That are we ever going to put
Yeah,
them back
and-
together? And the other question was,
Was there any leftover screws?
yeah, what leftover screws were there?
No, thankfully we had no leftover screws, which we did our part there. We had no leftover push button clips or anything, so everything went back into its original location.
Yeah, they did a great job of cataloging everything.
Yeah, we inventoried every single piece that came off the car, just so that we know where it goes, how it goes. There's some areas that some bolts had 3 washers, some bolts had 4 washers. So we had to catalog where each bolt went, so everything went back in its original place. I
Right.
mean, we've got more than 40 hours of labor just in this car alone.
And Jose did most of that portion of it because you're not really
I'm a good. I hand him the tools.
correct. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Jose, what did you think of the underside, the inside?
I can tell you, I've never seen anything like that, to be quite honest. Like, it's the suspension, the way the entire vehicle is just on another level, the way it was built. And like he was saying, there are some, like for example, there's 3 bolts that go here just in this one particular area. When you're looking at it, it's one of them has 2 washers, one of them has 3 washers, and the other one has 4 washers. And it's just for clearance, because if not, the bolt's actually going to hit the carbon.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So
Right.
you have to be into every single detail when you're taking it apart. If not, you are going to damage a panel once you're doing that. And we made sure that everything went into its original place for that same purpose. So you got to be very tedious with everything as you're taking it apart, just as much when you're putting it back together.
And professionally speaking, there's not too many people that are able to do something like this. So it really pushes the limits of what you have in terms of skill and brings it to a higher level, right?
Yeah, no, it definitely, like I mentioned, in the beginning, you know, once you start the teardown on this car, you have to, you're out of your element, like you said, you're out of your comfort level, because, you know, God forbid we break a panel, like, you know, we've talked about, you know, you damage a panel, you can't just go to the Ford dealer and buy another one.
Exactly.
You know, if we're doing an F-150 and God forbid we break up a clip on a panel and we have to buy that panel, we can run to the dealer and order it and it'll be here in a day or 2. Well, here, I mean, little do you ever see one of these cars. Now to be working on it, imagine waiting for parts or anything like that. So we took a while to take in this car, if you recall, because
Yes.
we were there for the delivery.
That's
which,
right.
Thank you for inviting us to.
Oh, it was
delivery,
my
but-
pleasure. I'm glad you guys were there.
But we experienced the delivery, and from the delivery till now, we had to make sure we cleared our schedule, we cleared our minds, and we cleared everything so that our main focus was 100% execution on a car like this.
Let me ask you this. Okay, so one of my main concerns was the wiring. Since we had the idea that we didn't want to do any drilling on the body.
Sure.
So how were you able to pass all the wires to the central console?
Well, Jose Jose found a real good harness that was going into the car, in the middle of the car, a little bit towards the passenger side in the front. That helped us out a lot in getting the wires from the front, but now the issue we ran into was the wires from the rear.
Okay.
You know, we looked all over, we didn't see an entry point for wires from the rear, so we had to extend the wires and come in, and we used the same exact access point that we used to get in originally. On a carbon fiber cockpit, you never want to drill a hole in the cab.
Right.
We've heard in the past, Jose and I have been in this industry for a while, and we've heard in the past cars being labeled as total loss because you opened up a hole in a cabin, you know, you structurally damaged the cabin.
Exactly.
So
You compromise the rigidity.
Yeah, 100%. So our main focus here was go through an existing hole, go through an existing grommet, and thankfully we found one that put us in the direction where we needed to get to put our modules and all of that right next to the factory fuse box.
Yeah, that's a leap of faith on my part, because when I approached you guys about doing this project, we ordered the parts.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not like we're going to be able to send it back.
Sure.
So it was a leap of faith in the terms of that we wanted to have this done. At the same time, we didn't know whether it could be done.
Correct.
So it was an experiment.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like a mechanic buddy says of mine, it's all nuts and bolts. But you got to be careful as you do it. But we have a 12-volt battery. We're 12-volt experts.
Yeah.
And the rest was just making everything work, you know, the way it should.
Yeah, not everybody, I got to say this, not everybody can work on a car like this. From an owner's perspective, I have to find a shop that I trust, that I think has the level of skill necessary for a project of this kind, and that's what I found in these two gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right, so let's go over the car.
Sure. So, like we mentioned, we have the 3 laser diffusers up front. We've got the radar detector up front. Now, this is an ultimate kit. So Redenzo gives us, with this kit, they give us a 5-year ticket guarantee. That's a huge ticket guarantee. So the only way they honor that is if we do the 3 in the front, the 1 radar, and then we move to the back. And in the back, we did the 2 laser shifters. As you come over here to the back side, you'll see we were able to do a nice job with the laser shifters where we positioned them exactly where we wanted. This car generates a lot of heat in the rear.
It does.
So we were able to mimic the same exact heat wrap that Ford uses on all of our wiring in the back.
Perfect.
And here we did mount the radar. The actual radar detector is mounted right in between the 2 exhaust tips. And
yeah, I see them there. They're
yeah, the shifters you could see them. The radar detector you can't really see it unless you're looking through the exhaust holes there.
And the radar detector's back here?
Yeah, it's right in the center.
Okay, so tell me about how that was determined. Now, we're talking about an area of the car that is the hottest area.
Sure. Yeah. So we followed a lot of the existing wiring that was there. We did the same heat wrap that was there. So we didn't reinvent the wheel. We just followed along what they were doing from Ford. And if it's good enough for what they did, it's good enough for what we're using.
Right, and Redenzo feels comfortable with the placement of it.
Redenzo, once we sent them the pictures of what we were doing, they said that it would melt the sensor before it would melt the wiring.
Wow, okay.
So they're very confident as we are as to the placement of the unit.
But the unit is not going to melt, right?
No. You would melt the backup camera, the factory backup camera, before you melt that sensor.
That's what I think, yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah, so we went over a lot of this conceptually early on. And there really aren't a whole lot of options with regards to placement of these sensors. So we really have to kind of weigh the pros and cons, and that's kind of like what it is. We're gonna really be a guinea pig.
Yeah, 100%. But here we've got more than enough area covering. I do want to go testing with you.
Yeah.
So we can test out this system for your, so you get what you paid for. So we have peace of mind that what we're selling, that we're 100% confident. And I'm sure Redenzo would like to see us testing as well. So
Well, I've got a surprise for you.
what you got?
I'm dropping off the 2RS, and I'm going to ask you to try and do it next.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I don't think that's a problem.
Yeah?
I'll feel a lot more comfortable with the GT2RS than when we initially started with this.
Okay, well, good deal. So we'll get together after you finish with the 2RS.
Yeah.
And we'll get some laser detectors, and we'll go out there and.
We do have some friends in the law enforcement area.
Okay.
That we can probably lean on them on loaning us some guns.
What about the Dragon Eye? I want to see that Dragon Eye.
I'm going to get you a Dragon Eye.
Really?
100%. I'll get you a Dragon Eye.
Okay. You heard it here, guys. We're going to test out with a Dragon Eye.
Yep. We're going to do the Dragon Eye testing. We're going to do some other laser testing, and we're going to have a whole lot of fun doing it.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. Okay, so I am going to leave the 2RS and take the 4GT.
Okay.
Take it for what, a week? 3-4 days?
Yeah, give us a week, Ernie. You got to give us a little bit of time to get the GT2RS done. That's very cool. I'm glad you surprised us with that, but we're really looking forward to doing that car.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to it, so we'll get a move on it. You came in the GT2RS now?
I did.
All right, so we can get this out and let's bring the GT2RS
All right,
in.
perfect.
Cool, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Open up the
Jose.
door for you so we can get you out of here.
Awesome.
All right. Hey, what's up, Ernie?
What's up, people?
How are you,
Oh,
man?
they came out great.
Yeah, we just wrapped this one up for you.
That's awesome. What's up, Jose? How are you, man? How's it going? Good. So tell me, was it harder, easier, or what?
Oh, it's different.
Yeah.
It's definitely not as much of a disassembly as the GT, which I see you're driving, so
Yeah.
that's a good sign. But yeah, we got it all wrapped up, and it came out excellent, absolutely excellent. You're gonna love
So
it.
we talked about the placement of the shifters.
Yeah.
We had to do a little bit of different system here.
Yeah, the layout on this car is a little different, so we had actually more room to play around with than we did previously on the GT. So we found the best placement on the outsides for the outside shifter, and then we centered the center shifter right away.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, it looks pretty well hidden.
yeah, let me walk around the back so you
Okay,
can see
let's
the
go
back. The same thing that we did for you on the other one, where since it's all rear engine and it's all very hot, this
Right.
car I think actually might even run a little hotter than the GT.
It does.
Yeah, so we did the same process of doing all the heat shielding and all of that for our wires. As you can see, the laser shifters down below.
Right.
We got real good separation. We've got nice gap to cover everything on the rear.
Right. Almost 2 feet, it looks like.
Yeah, yeah. So it gives us a good wide spread. And the same thing, we added the rear laser radar detector so we can follow that.
Where did you put that?
The radar detector actually ended up right here, a little bit to the left of the center.
Okay.
It was the best spot. Towards the middle, it was going to be behind the license plate, and that would have obviously altered our range of detection. So we found a good clear spot on this car. Actually, this car was a friendlier install than it was with the GT. But we're very happy with the way it turned out, and I'd have to show you on the inside also how we mounted the display for you and all of that. But
Let's go look at it.
yeah, check it out. What's cool about this kit? It's exactly the same kit that we did in your GT. So you don't have any less protection or more protection in one car than the other, which is cool. Since you jump from one car to the other,
Right.
there's nothing foreign to you. It's the same kit, same features, same everything. How's it been the last week or so?
It even tells you where the red light cameras are.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's been cool.
Like,
I mean,
yeah, we've gotten several cars, top cars.
sure.
And it takes a little getting used to, but it's really cool.
Yeah, it's like having somebody tell you when to slow down. you know?
Exactly.
As you can see on this one, right underneath the ashtray, as you open it up, we built a little trim and we mounted the display right there.
Completely hidden.
Yeah, which is a little different on this car, but we had that option on this one, where if it's not in use, you can just put it in
Right.
and call it a day.
Well, let's. Do you have the radar in?
I do. I have 3 guns for you.
3?
Yeah, I was able to get 2 different laser guns, and I got you the Dragon Eye that I told you I was going to get.
Oh, fantastic.
So thanks to Redenzo. Redenzo gave us a real good push there, and they shipped us a gun so that we can try it. And I'm looking forward to testing this, very soon, like maybe now.
Let's do it.
All right,
I'm
let's
ready.
go, man.
All right.
Cool. So Ernie, here are the 3 guns that we have to test with.
Pro laser,
Yeah.
and then this one's
True speed.
True speed, and then the big guy,
Yeah, this is the Dragon Eye.
the Dragon Eye.
Redenzo was nice enough to send us a Dragon Eye gun. I don't think they do this for just anybody. I think they did it because they know the caliber of cars you're doing.
Right.
And they obviously want you to feel like you got your money's worth.
Absolutely. They've done a good job. They've honored us with sending that.
So this is the Dragon Eye. Then I was able to get my hands on a True Speed, which is another laser that's usually used by the motormen, the motorcycle guys from the departments. And then I was also able to get my hands on a Pro Laser.
Okay.
So this is a pretty cool gun also. They say that this is one of the better guns. Obviously not as good as a Dragon Eye, but now we have 3 to choose from, and we're going to test all 3 and see how they do.
Perfect. So I think we'll know after this
Yeah.
if we spent this amount of money
And getting our money's worth.
and we're
right?
getting our money's worth.
Let's hope so.
What I try to do for the goal for these cars is to be stealthy, right? To disappear
Yeah. You want to be invisible.
as much as you can on a yellow car and
At a Ford GT.
a Ford GT, right?
We want to be invisible from certain people.
From certain people,
Yeah.
right?
So that's the plan, and we're going to try to execute that.
Okay, let's go test it.
Cool.